can't let go of, really where kind of that lack of honesty comes in. And that's where you have to be the type of person that says, wow, who am I today? Who do I want to show up as? What is really important to me? And then move from there. So
Isn't
yes.
that, yeah. Isn't that the point of our control, where we look within and say, okay, what do I want to, how do I want to show up today? And yeah, it's different. And there's nothing wrong with pizza. I eat pizza. So for all you pizza parlors, please don't write me. I love pizza. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something we need to have every single day, as much as I'm sure they want us to. But that was just an example. But, when talking about it, and yeah, I know that within your next book, you're talking about managing yourself. You're annoying you. The part of yourself that is really annoying, and managing that. First, it comes with the recognition of it. And then it's like, how do you manage it? And and what works for you? So how do you guide people with really discovering, because we don't know what we want until we know what we don't want, right? So what works in the workplace? Does that work also everywhere in my life? Or is this only good for the workplace?
I first of all love that you say we only know what we want by knowing what we don't want.
So
right?
true. That's why we're sage as the older that we get, because we've had a lot of opportunity to know what we don't want.
Exactly. And, when we know what we don't want, I have a friend whose child is going through an internship, and there's 6 different rotations. And he said he really didn't like X. And I'm like, that's good. He can X that one out then. Right. So, right. You have to know who you are. So that goes back to like, where am I? What size is right? Goldilocksing, right? What size? Who am I? But I think, in terms of, I'm losing my train of thought. But in terms of this, like what works for me and how do I know, is about really looking at how we spend our time, our money, and our narrative. So it's very clear to me. In business, I work with a lot of companies who say, I want to innovate more. My team is not innovative. And I look at their budget and I see that they really don't have money for innovation, which might be a little tip off. I look at how they spend their time. They don't have any meetings, any mentors. They don't have anything around innovation. And then they say we're innovative. So they have to make a decision, right? About who we are. It's not about we are innovative or we're not. It's about aligning those things. So I can say, I want to be healthy and eat pizza. So I'm going to have one piece. I'm going to have cauliflower crust. I might have gluten-free. I'm not going to have pepperoni on it, right? There are ways to align it. There are ways to align it. And I think we get stuck with, if I do this, I'll do that. So I spend a lot of time working with companies about how they actually spend their resources, their money and their time, and then what are the results they hope to get, and are they aligned? So, another good example that I use a lot lately is one for myself in my personal life. So I'm trying to take this concept that I could very quickly look at a spreadsheet, look at, some staff descriptions and stuff like that, look at the team meetings and say, here's the problem. You're doing this, but you're not focusing on that. And in my personal life, I look at it kind of through my writing, right? I was spending my time and my money on my writing, but I was never writing. So it was like I was buying books, I was writing classes, I was listening to authors, but I was never actually sitting down and writing. So it wasn't right or wrong. It was the balance and the alignment. And I have to really be able to look at, what aren't I doing to get me that result? What am I saying about it?
Yeah. And also you have to look at, sometimes you're in preparation. It's okay. Because we need those tools. There's a reason why you're doing it. We may not understand it, but the reason why is we need those tools in our toolbox in order to get us here. Because all the things that if you've ever had different jobs in the past, I know both of us have different jobs in the past, all the tools from the previous job help us in the job that we're currently in. So by having a lot of exposure and experience, we have all those tools in our tool belt that we can whip out at any time that actually serve us in this job at this moment. So when you were doing that, I call that the preparation stage. You weren't ready to write, but yet you were also might have been using it as procrastination. We have to look at that. Were we really creating a strategy saying, these are the tools I'm going to learn, and then I'm going to start to write? Or could you have been doing it simultaneously? If I was your coach, I would have been saying, hey, why aren't you writing a little bit while you're learning these tools? So,
well, I'm glad you said that, because one of the things about this is the progression. So this was 2 years in and I was doing the same strategy. So something we use a lot I use a lot in coaching, and I'm sure you do too, is what got you here will not get you there. So
Yes.
got me ready to do it. I was clinging to that, right? Because it was safe, that double-edged sword. I was telling myself I'm a writer because I went to classes, and I had to really look at how I was spending my time. I was buying single day classes or hour classes. I wasn't committing to a manuscript group. I wasn't really a member of a writers group that met every week. So, right, the resources were somewhat aligned, but they were in the wrong category. So you have to really dig into, how do I spend my time? How do I spend my money? What did I think the result would be? And then why isn't that happening? And I think
Awareness and self-alignment, self-awareness,
self-alignment.
So
I
you
call
really
it your
dug down.
I call it your life budget, right?
Yeah.
Like, we only look at our budget if will I have enough for retirement? Will I have enough to get my kid through school? Will I have enough for a new house? Can I afford a dog, maybe a second car, right? But it's really about, how are you actually budgeting your most important thing, your time, and then your money, for what you really want? I really want to be a member of my community. So maybe, it's not about the money. It's about, I need to join a town board. I need to be be involved in some planning for the annual parade, whatever it is. So it's about really looking at the result and working backwards to what's not aligned to get you there.
Yeah, yeah. And that you need to be curious about yourself. And that goes back to what you were saying about what works for me. And you really need to be thoughtful and find out what works for you. And I love that the new book is the first book is what, dealing with or managing annoying people. And the second book is really talking about managing the annoying self, right? And I think it's, what is it? Isn't it a collection of vignettes about
Yes.
a lot of different things that you could refer to? And I love those. It's like chicken soup for the soul, from my coach, Jack Canfield. Little plug there. But he, by putting those vignettes together, you find the connection and you can see yourself in the story. That's why reading is so, 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 so good and invaluable. Shut off the TV. Read, because you can connect yourself with what you're reading, and then you can better yourself. And I think that's what we're looking for. Goldilocks may have been trespassing. Goldilocks may have had to discover what she really wanted by understanding what she didn't want. This was too small. This was too big. This was just right. But the other thing she was discovering was what she wanted. And what she wanted was really important. I think the owner of the house wanted her out, but that's a different story. Right? It's a different story. But so why don't you, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you, could you provide a few simple steps that our listeners can do right now? Because me, especially if you've been listening to me for over the last 6 seasons, me that I want you to take action now. We need to take action. So what can they do to start right now?
This is a very unpopular one, but look at your credit card bill. Look at what you're spending money on. And I understand that not all your money is discretionary. Discretionary is things, right, that you have choice over, that you have to pay your car insurance, your, rent, your mortgage, whatever it is, your food bills. But really look, and if it's cash, really start tracking what you're spending. And it's not something that you have to do for months or years. And it's not like, I mean, like me, I like to get my nails done. It's not like I say, oh, I'm not going to get my nails done. No, how much does it cost me to get my nails done? In time and energy, that goes in my budget. Be really, once again, honest, and really start looking at your credit card bill. And you'll see, I always say, right, I want to be charitable, but there's not one charitable donation here. Do the same thing with your calendar. Look at your time. I say I want to get together with my friends. I say I want to get outside more. I say I want to get to the museum. Did I pencil that in? Did I make any effort to do it? And my life is busy. Maybe I can't. Can I do it online? Can I just have a conversation? What is one step I can take towards that, one baby step? I really, a lot of us, it's an old story, want to clean out our closets, want to get rid of what doesn't work for us, because, right, that's another problem about managing annoying me. It's like, I'm reaching over the things I don't wear because I think I should, to get to the things that I always wear. But I look at it like this. If I go into my closet and say, oh my God, I want to clean it out, and I bring it down to the basement, or I bring it to the dump, we have local transfer stations here. I bring it to the transfer station or Goodwill, and it's gone, then I'm like doing the favorite American pastime, second guessing. Should I have gotten rid of that? Wasn't that good? Maybe I should have done that. But if I take baby steps, first separate my closet into what doesn't work and what does, then put it on a chair in the room. Then from the chair, bring it to the basement. From the basement, put it in a bag. Eventually, it's going to be gone. The things that were meant to come back will. And I've done it. So what are those baby steps in your budget, right? In your food? Do I really, do I need lobster every night this week? Or maybe there's something else I can eat. Can I buy some things on sale, right? Or, what am I spending money on? I mean, I know so many people that don't even think about, they don't understand like just how the money is leaking out, and and then they don't have it. So looking at your budget, it's not painful. It's just information. It's like your blood pressure. It's just information.
Yeah. And then you have to decide what you want to do with it. So yeah, I just cleaned out my closet, did the same thing, made little piles, donation piles, things that I was going to keep, things I wasn't going to keep. And I really cleaned out my closet and I felt really good about it. And it was messy. It's going to get messy. And that's what it's supposed to. Change offers messy, but change offers opportunity. And I love that. Ilene, you are so wonderful. I want to have you back. You have so much yumminess to share with us. And it's definitely want to have you back when you have your new book finally launched, your second book launched, and bring back all that yumminess too, because we love having you here. You so grateful for you. So
right
grateful.
Back at you.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you all for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I hope we earn the privilege of your time. Again, I want to thank our guest today, Ilene Marcus. You can find her at alignedworkplace.com. Any other way to reach you?
Ilene at alignedworkplace.com and LinkedIn, Ilene Marcus. I love LinkedIn.
Beautiful. In the meantime, look for our show next Saturday at 3 p.m. We can be found on all major platforms, so we would be so grateful if you please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I am Coach Lorianne Casdia. Play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big. Thanks again, Ilene.